stage. Thank you for humoring us as we came out with Beacon. I want to do that this year so we're able to spread out a little bit more. And just some rules of the road while you're here at Barrington stage. Please make sure your masks stay on. If you take them off for any reason, please stop to the lobby or outside. And just a message for everyone. This is being live streamed on Facebook or something. So if you're right, please say it will be seen by my mother in Minnesota. Not true, she doesn't know how to use Facebook. So I'm so happy we're able to meet in person. I know in 2020 we thought this would happen, and I believe at the end of my 2020 speech I said, we'll see each other in 2021. At the end of my 2021 speech, I was like, see each other in 2022, and I'm really happy this year I'm not a liar. There are a lot of people to thank. Up on the side, go to the next slide, please. First, I want to thank all of our major donors up here. It's really not possible without all of them contributing to our budget every year, making this possible, and joining part of the community effort that is downtown Pittsfield Inc. I'd also like to thank the property owners throughout Pittsfield who also make it possible for us to do all that we do up and down North Street and South Street. Leave the names yourself. And then I also want to thank all the members. We are a member organization. We are here to serve you, and we are only as strong as our members are. So to kick things off, before we move into further speeches, I'd like to welcome our mayor, Linda Tyer.
I agree with Branden. It's great to be together in person. And thank you for that warm welcome, Branden. It's great to be here. Before I go any further into my remarks specific to DPI, I just wanted to acknowledge that we are all experiencing deep shock, heartbreak on so many levels. In this week alone, as well as many recent weeks, we've seen communities across our country absolutely shattered and devastated by gun violence. In these painful times, we are reminded of the fragility and also the strength of our communities. I am deeply grateful to be part of a strong community here in Pittsfield and throughout the Berkshires. As we navigate these despicable acts of violence that happen in our own community, the Pittsfield Police Department cannot go it alone. We need all hands on deck to address the urgency of gun violence in our community. And we need state and federal assistance right now. Please know that myself and Chief Wynn are working fiercely to create a safe community for all of us. Now, through the years, Downtown Pittsfield Inc. has been a steady and integral part of our city's growth and our future. I am really excited to welcome DPI's new Executive Director, Rebecca Brien. Welcome, Rebecca. So happy to have you. And also a really big thank you to all of the DPI board members, past and present, for your countless volunteer hours devoted to our downtown business community. Your perspective, insight, and advocacy is essential for the success of our collaborations. I'm looking forward to hearing more about the strategic plan and the release of this new guide that will drive our future decisions. And I also am eager to see how the city of Pittsfield can actively participate in the future of our downtown. As you know, we provide annual funding to support Downtown Pittsfield Inc. And I'm looking forward to exploring in the very near future how local and state American Rescue Plan funds can be used to nurture our downtown and take us all together into the future. DPI's annual downtown cleanup is an event that everybody looks forward to. It is a great moment of esprit de corps. This event was held earlier this month, and it's just one example of the many collaborations that we experience together. This day brings together teams representing businesses across our city, including city staff, and even some individuals who just want to be part of it. This event bolsters community pride and togetherness, and it's just one of the many ways that DPI keeps us moving forward. This year, the City of Pittsfield I know that it might be a bit of a spoiler for me to say, to make my next remarks, but this year's honorees, I just have to say a few words about each of them. Must be my magnetic personality. Today's awardees are a powerful reflection of the community collaboration and the belief in our city. Jesse, your fierce advocacy and love for downtown Pittsfield is unmatched. When you were the president of Downtown Pittsfield, Inc., I benefited greatly from your advice, advocacy, and sense of humor. I'm just glad that after all that, you still take my calls and respond to my text messages. Thank you, thank you, thank you for always being one of our most passionate champions. Thank you, Jesse. Now, during the pandemic, we all witnessed and benefited from the tireless dedication and commitment demonstrated by our public health professionals in the city's Department of Public Health and at our hospital, our beloved hospital, Berkshire Health Systems. The exhausting COVID response continues. It is a great honor for me that our city's health department is being recognized today. Our staff worked day and night for weeks and months on end in collaboration with our many community and state partners to keep our residents safe during an extremely trying and unnerving time. And Berkshire Health Systems and Dr. Lederer was an essential part of that COVID response team that guided us through these difficult times. Many of us knew friends and family that were hospitalized who received incredible care. We know that our nurses at Berkshire Health Systems held the hands of the people who were terribly ill and alone and away from family. It is for those reasons that I will forever be in great gratitude for Berkshire Health Systems and what it means for our community. Thank you, Dr. Lederer. Now, when you think of world-class theater, of course you think of Pittsfield, right? And the name Julianne Boyd is sure to come to mind. For 28 years, she has served at the helm of Barrington Stage Company, our city's premier theater, providing our residents and visitors with the very best live performance entertainment, as well as award-winning educational programs. Thank you, Julianne, for all that you've done for our downtown, for our residents and visitors, and for your staff and patrons. We've all benefited from your artistic creativity, perseverance, determination. We've all seen it. Now, I just learned, and I hope it's okay to say this, that the Barrington Stage production of Freud's Last Session, yes, Julie, can I say it?
Yes, you can.
Written by Mark St. Germain, is going to be made into a film. Wow. And this is truly great news because the very first production of Freud's Last Session happened right here in Pittsfield at Barrington Stage Company. It's such great news. Julie, we wish you all the best in your retirement and look forward to the July gala so that we can give you a grand send-off. Thank you, Julie. I just want to take a moment to look back a bit over the last 2.5 years, all that we've been through, and recognize and acknowledge DPI's creative and innovative solutions that helped to sustain our local businesses through the height of the pandemic. From the creation of its online gift cards to keeping members up to date on critical resources, such as information about the Paycheck Protection Program for small businesses, pandemic unemployment assistance, DPI was there. Thank you for meeting those challenges head on and helping to support our downtown businesses During this difficult and trying time for downtown businesses, the city also recognized that relief was going to be multifaceted. So in 2020, I established the COVID-19 Economic Recovery Program, the only one of its kind in our county, which went on to award a total of $970,000 to 130 small businesses in our city. We also awarded technical assistance grants to 15 businesses amounting to over $99,000. I am so proud and happy that we could lend a hand and collaborate on these efforts to help our small businesses keep their doors open. I'm excited about the work that's underway to ensure that our small businesses will keep thriving and that the experience of our downtown is enjoyed by everyone of all ages and all abilities. Later in today's program, you'll hear more about the strategic plan, which will touch on this and other initiatives that will highlight and enhance our downtown. Thank you all for your hard work. As we know so very well, it is our collective resolve that will help us navigate the road ahead. The best is yet to come for downtown Pittsfield. Thank you.
Everyone. I'm Lindsey Schmid with Berkshire, and I also serve as the clerk of DPI on the DPI Executive Committee. I have the really fun part of the meeting today, so bear with me. We're going to quickly go through the formal part of the annual meeting before we proceed to updates as well as awards. So I call to order the annual meeting of the Corporators of Downtown Pittsfield. All votes were cast electronically prior to this meeting, and on the slides you'll see our newly nominated corporators and those who have been re-elected to a new term. Thank you to all of our corporators. To adjourn the annual meeting of the corporators, I look for a motion from the corporators.
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
Thank you. Now, I call to order the annual meeting of the members of Downtown Pittsfield. All votes, again, were cast electronically prior to this meeting, and on the slide you'll see the newly nominated and elected board members. They are joining their returning directors listed on the next two slides, and our honorary blank directors. You have to take a moment to thank our departing board members, Cook-Dubin, Dave Irwin, and Victoria May, for their dedication and years of commitment to TPI. Thank you so much. We have also elected our executive committee for the coming year and are excited to welcome Tim Lohr and Jessica Rumlow to the executive committee. To adjourn the annual meeting of the membership, I again look for a motion from the membership. Anyone? And a second. Thank you to everyone. Now back to Branden.
Thank you, Lindsey, for handling the very fun part of this meeting. I'm so happy to do that online, so we don't have to do that in person anymore. And boy, am I happy I elected president again, otherwise this would be super awkward. I wanted to second our thanks to a few people. Special thanks to Dave Irwin and Tyer, both for leading the executive committee. Thank you for everything you have done. Special thanks to Chris Hazzard, who we'll be hearing from in a moment, about all the amazing work she's done with the strategic plan. A special thank you to Cheryl Meyer, who's here, who is our executive director for 3 years. Cheryl, we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you. Everything we're doing is built upon what you said. I'm so happy that you are still a member. It's so good to see you at events like this, so thank you, Cheryl. So when I started writing this speech, it was brilliant. And I went back and realized it's the exact same thing I wrote the last 2 years. I thought that maybe a fan club out there might notice this. So I really started thinking about what do I want to say different this year? And I've really been thinking about everything we've learned as an organization, thanks to strategic plans and other initiatives. And so much has happened in the past year at downtown Pittsfield. It's really been a year of growth and discovery as we've launched many new exciting ventures. Were awarded a local rapid recovery plan from the state. We have a new strategic plan coming. And we are given a transformative development initiative designation for the district of downtown, known as a TDI designation. These are all very exciting. As someone who produces theater, I have learned a lot this year about how the state government and municipal government works, and I've really discovered that these are transformative initiatives that the state and the city have given us. But my biggest takeaway from this past year is that the only thing holding back progress in downtown Pittsfield is nostalgia and not embracing change. And listen, we all love nostalgia. Nostalgia is beautiful. Nostalgia should be looking at a photo album, flipping through it, and thinking fondly, but it should not be something that weighs you down. There's so much potential in DPI's future, but we can only get there by respecting the past while keeping our eyes on the future. Through the local rapid recovery plan, known as the LRP, which is not easy to say, the LRP, we have a blueprint for initiatives to beautify and enhance our downtown, and DPI is actively seeking funds for our members to enact this plan. Through the Transformative Development Initiative, the TDI, DPI is the lead coordinator with the city, and it will give our members direct access to transformative funds from mass development through a designated fellow who will be joining our team to ensure we move into the future. And then I'd like to add on to that the addition of our new managing director, Brien, who is a wonderful find. I'm so happy she's here to continue the work we've been doing over the past few years. Add a strategic plan, and DPI is such a rare moment I've seen in an organization. Its trajectory is faced with an embarrassment potentials and possibilities. It is ridiculous, y'all. I would look through all the things that are coming our way, and as a not-for-profit person, I go, wow, that's so much potential for funding, for change, for initiatives, that any not-for-profit should be so welcoming, and we are so excited to see what we're able to do with all these great opportunities. And the great thing is, with all these opportunities comes the resources and funds to make it happen. It's not just ideas, but it gives us not only access to money, but technical assistance and as fellows to help us really move things forward. I feel that we are such an important inflection point here for DPI, where we are no longer talking about things we'd like to do, which I think we've been doing for years. Oh, if we only had money, we do this. Oh, if we only had money, we do that. That time is here now. I'm so happy it's here now. I'm so happy to get to be president while it's here now, because being president the first 2 years of the pandemic is fun. Thanks, Jesse, for that. So let's not sit back and wish for what has passed. Instead, let's seize all that's coming our way and strive to spend the next year moving forward together as members that make up downtown Pittsfield. Thank you. And next up is Chris Hazzard, our consultant from Katalyst, who's going to tell you some of the highlights of our exciting new strategic plan. Thank you, Chris.
It's great to see you all. I kind of can't right now. Thank you, Branden. I appreciate your introduction, and my comments today are primarily a big thank you. Many of you in the audience today participated in the strategic plan in some way, shape, or form, and hopefully you will see your thoughts and ideas reflected in the high-level presentation I'm going to give today. We're not going to get into the details too much. So the first thing I sort of did at the end, so it's the first thing, but it was the last thing, was to think about, so what did we hear? And what is the path forward? And what should we call that? I was like, do we need a name for this? And so really came up with Unite to Seize the New Day. And that has a lot of meaning within each word. So the Unite, I have to say, in talking to so many, 50, 60 different people over the last couple months, there's not a big sense of unity. There's not a coalescing around a specific vision. And so we need to have that. That old saying of the sum of the parts, right? Like each of you individually brings so much to the table, but united and all together, the result can be amazing. Everything that Branden just said, excitement, using resources, all of that, but you have to be united. And then why seize the new day? Well, we've got Rebecca. So I think we got a person here who's going to lead you to that new day in a great way. She's really terrific. We have to embrace life after COVID. I really didn't think we'd have this on today, but we do. But there will be life after COVID, and we're all tired and frustrated, and also things happening, as the mayor commented about how heavy all our hearts are. So more reason to unite and to embrace life together. And then we really need to unite around that a shared vision, which is something we worked on and we will unveil today. And we have to have a course of action to build on the good that's happening in downtown Pittsfield already. There is so much good happening, and it sometimes gets lost in all the other stuff that becomes bigger than it really is. And so we have to really have that positive view and build the future. To really seize the day, I mean, the carpe diem, the whole meaning of that is really knowing what your priorities are. We need to know and accept the limitations of DPI. It's a tiny staff. It's a big, strong, great board, but it's really a tiny staff. And so what resources can they have and use to make some real impact? Well, the number one resource is you. It's your members. It's all of you working together and united to look at that new day. It's time to broaden and diversify the membership. There was conversation about whether the membership should actually shrink, it should only be retail or what have you. And really the conclusion was no, it's the opposite. We need to embrace anybody and everybody who cares about our downtown and make it the great place that it is and will continue to be more of. And then we have to listen to people and consider new ideas, and Branden said that. We have to, the past is so important, we're grounded in it, but the future is where all the opportunities are, and so we have to work together towards those goals. So I'm just going to really quickly tell you what we did. We started this in September. It's been a slow process because of COVID and all the challenges that have come with that, but we did form a strategic planning committee, and you can see their names up there. You probably can't read them all as you see more and more names. The point was really just to sort of show you the volume and a number of different people and organizations, particularly businesses. So we did have a strategic planning committee of 10, the mighty 10. Cheryl was a big part of it, and I thank her for her leadership in that, and now Rebecca has stepped into it. We reviewed the last 2 strategic plans. We did review the local rapid recovery plan. That is a mouthful, LLRP. There were 14 different projects in there, and DPI was listed in every one except one. So 13 projects. There was no way, with the size of the staff and the financial resources they had at the time, that was feasible. So we had to prioritize those, and we came up with more that were top of the list. We also mapped the DPI membership. There was a sense that there's a lot of members who actually aren't downtown, and how much of a voice should they have, but when we mapped it, the vast majority, the big black dot, are right in the downtown area and are living and working and doing stuff in downtown every single day. So that was important. And then we conducted a SWOT analysis and looked at the strengths and the weaknesses, the opportunities, and the threats, as is pretty normal. We then I facilitated 4 focus groups. And so again, you can't read all the names probably, although it's pretty big, you might be able to. Wonderful participation. We did 4 different focus groups, 24 people, really great thoughts. And again, the number one message was, what's the vision? What are we trying to accomplish in downtown? We also completed key informant interviews with 10 leaders in our community, including Mayor Tyer, who mentioned that. These interviews were amazing. The people were so generous with their time. I thought each would be 20, 30 minutes, and there was a couple that were an hour and a half. That there was just a lot of information people wanted to share. Repeated a lot of what we heard in the focus group, so that's kind of a good thing because it verified what we were hearing from the larger number of people. And then we created a board survey on the strategic priorities, and we had a board retreat. And I think those names are there. Great job. Kim is amazing. So again, just a whole nother group, and I think it was 16 of the board members who spent half a day together on Zoom, but that was really wonderful. So what did we hear? We heard that the last decade has been very challenging for DPI. There have been staff changes, board changes, leadership issues. There's been confusion as to what DPI's role really is. It's gotten muckied up over that time. And honestly, the relationship between DPI and the city is confused for some people. You know, some people think DPI actually is the city and has made all these decisions that they may not have had anything to do with, or they had input, but at the end of the day, it was the city. And some of the city folks I talked to thought DPI should be doing more for them and should be, you know, thanking them a little bit more, which is really true. So that relationship is so important and needs to be nurtured and done in a respectful way. The pandemic obviously hit the downtown hard, and you all have lived this. It's been really, really difficult. And that also fragmented the membership more in terms of what they thought should happen. Individuals or different businesses thought should happen, either by the city, by DPI, by members, what have you. But there's kind of some bad feelings out there, just being perfectly honest. And so we've got to look at that. We also have to look at the changing demographics and different interests downtown. It is a new day, and we do need to seize it united. So perhaps, I don't know, one of the most important things we did is we said we need a vision statement then. And we didn't actually start with that. That's often the case. You start with your vision statement, right? We got all the input, and then we created the vision statement. So as you can see, Downtown Pittsfield Inc. and its members welcome people, businesses, and events to join our diverse, vibrant, and bustling district. And so the view of downtown is that it will be diverse, it's vibrant, and bustling. And we teased a little bit about the word bustling because that's kind of a throwback to the 70s, but you get a visual of bustling. People walking around, lots of foot traffic, people laughing, having a good time. That's what we want to have downtown look like, and Downtown Pittsfield Inc. has to take a key role in their mission, which they're refining now. The mission that they had was way too long and maybe overreaching, and people had a really, really strong reaction to it. So we have a much shorter one. We're not quite ready to share it with you, but you'll be hearing about that probably in the next couple of weeks. So that is, again, the new vision for Downtown Pittsfield Inc. as a business, as an organization that is serving the downtown area and serving its 180 plus members, which is great. I'm going to talk about strategies real quickly because I've only supposed to have 5 minutes and I feel like I'm probably going to get already 5 minutes. So the first one, downtown look and feel. Really having DPI continue to be engaged in what is happening downtown. And one of the big issues, and the number one, across the board, everybody we talked to, and it came out of the LLRP, was addressing vacant storefronts. And lots of people said DPI should be involved, but what the heck are they going to do with this tiny team, right? Well, there's things they can do with their great creative marketing, with their energy and excitement. And it may be that there's a vacant storefront that we do a photo contest for and have big blown up photos in the vacant storefront instead of being a vacant storefront. How do we use those spaces in transition to get people when they leave Barrington Stage and walk down North Street to see some things, you know, the hills of the Berkshires, and I can picture all this great stuff. But something has to happen around addressing the vacant storefronts. Is there an opportunity, and it might be the TDI, it may have to be something else, to identify a business development leasing manager for downtown, specific to downtown, to be modeled on the great red carpet team that Mayor Tyer has put together, but it needs to be specific to downtown, understand downtown, what's here already, what don't we have, what do we need, how do we find those businesses and folks to be here. Safety, drug use, and mental health issues continue to be perceived as negatively impacting downtown visitors, residents, etc. And I said perceived, and I don't mean perceived to mean it's not true, but there is definitely a strong perception. It just has to be balanced with the data from the police department that actually shows the corridor going up, you know, North Street is the safest area in the city. So what's happening that's not known, and what's happening that's making people feel unsafe, that has to be addressed. Again, DPI, small staff, what can they do? They can work much closer with their members to work with the police department around figuring out how to manage that. There used to be a neighborhood watch for downtown years ago, and there's some interest in reinvigorating that because there's so many more residents now, but also the business watch. And there was some conversation about that with the police department, and that really needs to be pursued. And then ensuring DPI's membership includes active participation by those helping community members experience these issues, mental health, substance abuse. So whether it's the Brien Center, whether it's ServiceNet, whether it's the new Second Street Second Chances with the Sheriff's Department, There have to be relationships there, and definitely DPI needs to be actively involved in the city's new homeless council that has started up. Collaborative marketing and promotion and promotions and public relations. This is DPI's strong part. This is where everybody rallied around, yes, they need to do more and more of that. So what do we do with the sectors we have? Maybe there's opportunities to do things with the restaurants. There's opportunities to do things with the retail, opportunities to do things with the residents. How do we use that great skill and maximize it, sometimes segmenting folks around certain messages? And a kind of cool idea that came up from a person that actually the mayor connected me with was this idea of when Barrington Stage has Sondheim here, are the restaurants maybe putting some cool things on their menu that somehow connect to that? Are there storefronts putting up some stuff that reflects that? Is there a connection between the amazing cultural stuff we have going on and the other businesses? How do we unite around those kinds of things? And then also, and it's already being done by DPI, but we want it done by all the members, is uniting around the various celebrations, whether it's Pride Day or 4th of July Parade or Halloween or whatever. How does everybody who's on the corridor, if you will, that we're talking about, get involved in that? And then maybe, honestly, the most important is there has to be going on. What I've heard and I've witnessed, I am now a Pittsfield resident as well, and I drive down the street every day and stop and do different things. Social media is so negative about Pittsfield, so negative about downtown. And a lot of people have disconnected from it, and I get it, I don't have Facebook, so I get it. But if everybody consistent messages when it comes to downtown is something to be looked at. And then membership building, as I mentioned before, there was some conversation about whether there should be almost like a pullback from membership, that maybe membership has gotten too diluted. And the end result was, again, unite. Together we are stronger and we need more members. And so really looking at how we welcome in more members into the mix, and then look at the unique aspects of them. And then the last piece is, and I said it already, but I'll just say it again, downtown Pittsfield is relation with the city. I think the mayor said it well, there's money coming in, there's different departments working together, lots of really good stuff, but it continues to be confusing. And in some situations, honestly, there's been some hurt. So let's figure that out, let's get through that, seize the new day united, and we will make downtown even better than it is, and it's already pretty darn great. So that's it for now. There'll be much more devil in the details, as I always say, and we'll be looking to all of you to play a role in one of the strategies that DPI will be starting to work on. Thank you.
Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us here today. My name is Brien, and just over 1 month ago, I joined Downtown Pittsfield Inc. as your new managing director. I arrived just as many of our yearly events and activities were taking shape, so please forgive me if I have not had a chance to meet you in person until today. Thank you, Branden and Chris, for going to our high-level plans, and I'm going to provide you with some of the smaller details. First, I'd like to acknowledge our membership. We are comprised of 180 retailers, restaurants, service providers, individuals, property owners, and corporate members. And you are the reason that we are here working together to achieve the downtown goals. Since January, we have had 8 businesses, a downtown resident, and a new sponsor joining us. Please help me in welcoming them. I would like to take a moment to thank Kim McPartman, our marketing coordinator extraordinaire, and Ari Vetter, DPI so much more than just an admin, for their continued dedication during the recent transition. They, with the support of our board, DPI's managing marketing task force, and the Office of Cultural Development, made sure that our Love Pittsfield, Downtown and Beyond guides were here for the spring season. If you haven't already done so, please take one from the front lobby or check out the new digital version that's available online. Downtown Pittsfield is vibrant and bustling, and that has been seen at our most recent events. This year's cleanup included over 25 teams and almost 200 participants, with coverage not only from our local media outlets, but also Albany's WTEN and WGBY's connecting point out of Springfield. I'd like to thank our judges, Tom Bernard, Noella Henneberry, and Roberta and Warren Dews. Also to our sponsors, Always Moving for the bottled water, and the Marketplace for the lemonade and a gathering spot for the post-cleanup celebration that happened in person. But especially I want to thank the teams. They came and they worked that day, and despite the heat and sun, they definitely made the day a sweeping success. We also welcome back our First Friday's Art Walk in May with 11 brand new art shows and exhibits. DPI hosted the Indoors Out Kids Paint and Sip, and we provided instruction on how to paint swirly flowers and spring trees. Almost 70 children and their families gathered in downtown, painting mini canvases and enjoying juice boxes and Teddy Grahams. And thanks to the Commonwealth Places program created by Mass Development, we actually will be hosting this Kids Paint and Sip at each of the First Friday's Arts Walks throughout the entire summer. Looking ahead, DPI will be at the June 11th Pittsfield Farmers Supersize Market, and we'll be co-hosting a treasure hunt with CosQuest and the Office of Cultural Development. We will also be present at the Berkshire Pride Festival, Juneteenth celebration, all of the third Thursdays, and so many other events that are happening in and around downtown. Our Ambassadors program is actually expanding this year, and thanks to the continued support from the City of Pittsfield, the Pittsfield Police Department, Guardian Life Insurance, and a new partnership developed with the Berkshire Regional Transit Authority, our ambassadors will be assisting with parking, wayfinding, promoting downtown, and now they will be stationed at the Intermodal Transportation Center to help our guests on Friday evenings and Sunday afternoons who are taking the Berkshire Flyer. It is really with great excitement that I have joined Downtown Pittsfield's team, and I really look forward to working with all of you, our members, and all of our supporters to celebrate Downtown Pittsfield. Thank you. And now, on to our awards.
I'm back. So I'm so happy that the awards are back this year, and I'm very honored to ad-lib, as you would expect me to, the President's Award this year going to former President Jesse Cook-Dubin. In classic Jesse form, he's been texting me during this meeting because he's watching the live stream. That's the kind of relationship we have. And I have to say that someone who came here in 2016 to be asked to join the board of DPI in 2017-18 was a big deal for me, and I wasn't sure I wanted to do it. But Jesse and Cheryl made a really compelling case. After talking to Julie about it at length, I said, this is the right thing for Barrington Stage. When Jesse then asked me to lunch one day at Flavors in Malaysia, rest in peace, I knew something was up. And that's the point when Jesse asked me if I wanted to be the next president. And I'll be honest, I really wanted to say no because I was scared, because I knew whose shoes I was filling. Jesse's a lifelong resident. Jesse's love and knowledge of downtown Pittsfield and Pittsfield is never ending, and mine is limited. But I felt I could take on the challenges because I always had this amazing man, not only a text away, but living a block and a half from me. All presidents of downtown Pittsfield required to live on Bartlett Avenue. My apologies to Tim O'Donnell and Nick Logus, you're probably next. Jesse's devotion to downtown is endless and extraordinary. And the biggest thing I learned from him is that every once in a while downtown Pittsfield can use a little dry, sarcastic humor, which we both have in spades. Jesse's unfortunately not able to be here today. He is live streaming. Hello, Jesse. But he did send in a video thanking everyone and explaining. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. I'm sorry I'm not there in person today. I think most of you know that I always enjoyed the socializing before the meeting more than the annual meeting itself. And I would have liked to have the chance to be there and say hello to so many of you today. Over the last 10 years, I have always felt like downtown Pittsfield was on the cusp of being the place that we all wanted to be. And there have certainly been some successes and some failures and setbacks and opportunities over that period of time. But I still feel that way. I feel that we have the right group of leaders to take it on the next leg of its journey. And I'm so glad to have been a part of it. The people I am really glad are a part of it are the retailers and the restaurants, because they are the engines that make this downtown go. And I hope DPI never loses its compass, that those are the people that this organization exists to support, because they need our support, and we all owe them a tremendous debt for the struggle that they endure to give back to our community. There are so many people who have made the past 10 years enjoyable, fulfilling, and a time of real growth for me. And that starts with the DPI Board of Directors, who, regardless of its composition, in my time on the board, has always pushed constantly to make this organization more effective. To my friends at the City of Pittsfield, who I've enjoyed so much getting to know and work with, Mayor Tyer, Deanna Rufer, Jen Glockner, and Ricardo Morales, thank you for giving your entire professional lives to the City of Pittsfield and the improvement of our community. Thanks to my mentor, Kate McGuire. Thanks to so many friends, including Ellie Hammerling and Peter Lafayette, who asked me to be on this board 10 years ago. Thank you to Branden and the executive committee for your friendship, for this award, for letting me bore you all for a few minutes. Thanks to my colleagues at Cohen, Kinney, Belicenti, and Cook for your support of downtown and for everything that you did to enable me to be the president of DPI. It's not possible without a team of people. And to my amazing family, thank you to Rebecca and our incredible kids for tolerating the early mornings, the late nights, but sharing in a lot of the joy with me of walking around and seeing what all the effort was being put to. To my mom, thank you for being my mom. Thank you for your leadership of Pittsfield Beautiful and all you do for this community. And thank you to my incredible sister-in-law and my brother, Kika and Noah, who relocated here a few years ago and are doing their part to make Pittsfield a great place to raise their family. I love you all. I'm sorry I'm not there. I promise next year I will not get COVID. I missed the DPI annual meeting. I don't have a trophy, but I'll hold it up anyway. Thank you for this great award. I won't let you down. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Good afternoon. My name is Rumlow. I'm the CEO of the Berkshire Family YMCA, and I guess as of today, chair of DPI. I have the honor of presenting this year's Community Award. Every year, the Board of Directors selects a person or organization that has served our downtown community and enriched the lives of our members and residents. After 2 years of virtual annual meetings, we are able to safely gather together again, and that is all thanks to this year's co-recipients of the Community Award, Berkshire Health Systems and Pittsfield Department of Health. This award represents a fraction of the amount of thanks and praise both groups deserve for everything they have done over the last 2 years, and continue to do daily to keep us all healthy and safe. So, accepting the awards, please welcome Dr. Jim Lederer, Chief Medical Officer for Berkshire Health Systems, and Andy Cambi, Director of Public Health for the City of Pittsfield.
clear that we can never do this alone. To coin a phrase from someone you know well, or might, it takes a village. It takes a lot of partners, it takes a lot of support. It takes all of you out there for us to serve the community. And then more importantly, we don't just serve the community, we are the community at Berkshire Health. We're colleagues, we're friends, we're neighbors, we're family. And so without all of you in this together with us, we wouldn't be as successful as we are. So, thank you.
Thank you also. It's a great honor to receive this on behalf of the Pittsfield Health Department. I'm very grateful for the staff that responded to the pandemic. You know, we had to shift roles and everybody was very helpful. Special thanks to our former director, Gina Armstrong, our chairperson of the Board of Health, Dr. Colbert, all our community partners, Berkshire Public Health Alliance, our contact tracers, our public health nurses, the COVID response team. They were all very instrumental in dealing with the pandemic and getting us through it. So I'm very grateful for them. Also, special thanks to all the downtown businesses and all the businesses in the city of Pittsfield. It was a challenging time when we had to close down, and also a challenging time when we had to open up. And I'm very grateful that all the businesses were very receptive and very engaging in reopening the city and Commonwealth. They were very, as I mentioned, engaging and very supportive of all the guidance that were being presented to them. And I know that we all had the same vision, and it was opening up safely to our residents. So thankful to them, and thank you to DPI for this recognition.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Leach, president of Leach, and I am presenting the Robert K. Quattrochi Downtown Person of the Year Award. Just before I get started, I just want to echo a lot of the sentiment presented here already today, and just kind of my own testimony as to why I'm involved with Downtown Pittsfield, Inc. Really, it's the constructive approach to Pittsfield and optimism, which I think is needed, and it's driven in many ways by DPI and the leadership, Jesse and now Branden. It's just exemplary, just their leadership and constructive approach to Pittsfield. I think we need that, obviously, without being delusional about it, and just kind of driving that forward. That energy is totally necessary, and I feel like we have more contributors than ever to that kind of ethos right now. So kind of applaud everybody involved, and I really enjoy my work and have with DPI for many years now. With that said, like I said, I'm presenting the Downtown Person of the Year Award, the Robert K. Quattrochi for Downtown Person of the Year. So in 2006, Barrington Stage Company moved from South County to the heart of downtown Pittsfield into this building now known as the Boyd Quinson Stage. So sort of picking up on my remarks, they kind of took that bet and took the risk of coming here and building on optimism and sort of a positive direction for Pittsfield. It was a risky move, but it is a move that has paid off for not only Barrington Stage, but also for downtown Pittsfield. Barrington Stage brings over 50,000 people to downtown Pittsfield every year and for 28 years. The visionary behind Barrington Stage is its founder and artistic director, Julianne. As she starts her final season at BSC, there is no one more worthy for downtown Pittsfield to thank for everything she has done to help revitalize our downtown. Please welcome this year's recipient of the Robert K. Quattrochi Downtown Person of the Year, Julie Brien.
Thank you so much. As you might see, I'm having trouble getting up the steps because I have a torn meniscus, but hopefully we'll be better in a few weeks. Yeah, thank you so much for this award. It's really very meaningful to me, especially this last year. It's been so much fun since we moved here. And we actually bought the building in 2005, and while we were renovating it, when we first came to town, I still remember Mayor Jimmy Roberto and the Pittsfield High School band played down the street, North Street, believe it or not, to welcome us. We knew at that time, when the Pittsfield High School band, when those kids took off from school in the middle of the day to welcome us, it was very, very exciting, and I don't think we've been disappointed since then. We do bring, as Chuck said, more than 50,000 people here, and we probably have about 200 seasonal staff and actors, and together we spend over $7 million a year in Pittsfield. It's just an amazing number. And we love it. We love supporting local. That's the most important thing, that we make money and we spend it right back here in Pittsfield. I'm just personally so very, very excited to have this last season. And I think it's the beginning. I think what Branden said, it's not about nostalgia. It's not where we've been, but it's where we're going. And I think we're firmly planted here. And I think this is going to be the beginning of something really exciting. And so I'm really looking forward to it. One other thing I have to tell you is who's starring in Freud's last session. I don't think Mayor Tyer mentioned it. It's Anthony Hopkins. And of course, one of the things we do the most is support the artists. I mean, Mark St. Germain lives here in Berkshire County. He is just such a big supporter of everything that has to do with Pittsfield and Berkshire County. So I couldn't be happier for him to have such a success. Thank you so much for this award. It means so much. I'm humbled and honored by it. Thank you again.
So I'm going to cheat. I'm supposed to come up after this, but I'm not foolish enough to follow Tyler. So when thinking about this evening, the past couple of years we had businesses talk and they're so inspirational. And I said to Rebecca, I need a cheerleader. I need someone to really take us out of the high. And I thought, well, Branden, that's you on a very good day. But I said, no, that's not Branden Huldeen. That's Allan Jackson. I've known Ty for several years now. We are working on developing his book to be duplicated to a musical this summer. And when I tell people, oh, he's a local author, I always say, no, legit, he's one block from my office. I call him the mayor of North Street, sometimes to his face, but definitely behind his back. Whenever I see Allan Jackson, I know my days will be a little bit better. So I thought, who could end this meeting? Yes, I'll think about the positivity, the great things that are already here in downtown Pittsfield, the singular Allan Jackson.
First of all, don't you ever do that again. I mean, come on. And now I took off the mic, so you know it's going to be a problem. That was an insanely kind introduction. I want to show you my lack of originality. I'm wearing the same shirt. So I don't know what that says exactly. And then leave it up to the awful to everyone here. So all the suits are here, and I'm wearing ripped jeans and Air Jordans. I like breast ads, as my mother is called. Anyway. I'm going to go in a different direction than I was going to go initially because two things that both involve Facebook. One, I didn't know we were going to be live streamed, so hey. Second thing, I want to echo something that my friend Chris Hazzard said. Chris, it's so good to see your face again. There is a lot of negative talk on Facebook, and this is the tough love part, City of Pittsfield. There's a way to combat that. We can combat the negative conversations that are happening on Facebook by not reactively, but proactively promoting and being proud of this city. Social media is the most important and viable form of communication on the planet. And it is up to us, each and every one of us, especially the leaders and business leaders in this room, to proactively boost this city and showcase its power, its joy, and its beauty. And so it is up to you, each and every one of you, to be able to be a cheerleader, to be an advocate, to be a citizen of this amazing city that we live in, and boast it with reckless abandon. Okay. And now my speech, which I'll try to keep short. I'm an adopted son of the city of Pittsfield. I'm not an original son. Natively, I'm born and raised in New York, in the Bronx specifically. Go Yankees. When I lived in New York, I actually I lived in my 20s across the street from Central Park. And I would go for a walk down Broadway, which was just a few blocks away from Central Park, every day. Sometimes for just a few minutes, and sometimes for a few hours. It was my way of absorbing the city's energy. It was one of my great passions every day after dinner to go out for a walk on Broadway and just feel alive. That's what the city did to me, because I am New York. I am the Bronx. I am New York City. And obviously, I'm now very, very proud resident of the city of Pittsfield. And just like when I was in my 20s, I would go for a walk. I go for a walk up and down North Street to get that energy, to get that same vibrancy that I get from that I got in my 20s from New York City. But now I'm proud to say that I get from here in the city of Pittsfield. So I'm not in my 20s anymore. I'm hovering close to 55 years old, and I'm not doing the same things I did when I was in my 20s. I'm eating kale, not a fan. I'm going jogging, also really not a fan. But I'm doing this to become a better version of myself. But to grow and develop and to become the best versions of myself, it's going to be a little painful. You're going to do things you may not necessarily want to do. But that's what growth is. When you go to the gym and you work out, that next day you're sore. And you're sore because your body is changing. Your muscles are growing stronger. And that's exactly what this city is doing. It is growing into itself. It is becoming a greater version of itself. Just by changing the parking systems and the bike lanes and the scooters. These are all things that may seem foreign and different and maybe even uncomfortable. But that's what change is. And that's what growth is. And we need to embrace that. Not only just embrace it, we need to cheer it. We need to boast and be proud about the things that are growing and developing within the city, because it is so remarkably, incredibly amazing. And it is up to each and every one of us to have the pride, establish the identity, and show this place that we are becoming the best versions of ourselves through the city of Pittsfield. It starts with me. It starts with you. I thank you for the opportunity to speak with you. Go Pittsfield.
That's it. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. I said I wasn't going to follow that. So thank you so much. Go grab lunch somewhere downtown. Go buy stuff.